Welcome to Witchcast!
Cause it's Witchcast.
I'm Emily.
I'm Kate.
And we're your co-hosts of this, the Witchcast podcast.
That's right, we're your learning, growing, ever-evolving novice witches here to explore everything under the woo, esoteric, spiritual umbrella.
That's right, and today we have a very special guest. He's a professional astrologer and cosmic comedian. You've seen him roast and rate your zodiac signs on Instagram and TikTok. Please welcome JK, it's Cole, aka Cole Protz. Yay!
Hi! Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. We're so excited.
So excited. Yes.
I'm so excited. My little Gemini self loves to talk, loves to chat.
Yay! Yeah, we love
thrilled
to chat. We wouldn't have a podcast, I guess, if we didn't love the sound of our own voice. So obviously us too.
And we've loved your content for so long, and so we're so glad to have you. I love your videos. I live for them every day.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the way that I not only educate but also entertain not only myself but the masses. I think spirituality and esotericism and witchcraft and all that jazz can all be a little bit serious sometimes. So I like to take the piss out of it where I can. So
that's sort of how we started this podcast also, is that we were like, there's a lot of very serious witchcraft podcasts out there. And that wasn't really what we were interested in listening to, and it also, so we were like, well, if it doesn't exist, we'll make it. I feel like more have happened since we started, but like at the time it was sort of like, we'll just make our own podcast that isn't so heavy.
We all started it. We're all leaders. We're all thought leaders right here.
Listen, big brain energy. We have the mind of a master, a mastermind.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
No,
absolutely.
I just, anything that takes itself too seriously, I just can't. I'm like not about that. So love your approach. And also it's just, that is how you learn. I feel like you laugh and then you shove it down their throats, right?
Yeah, that's
that's one way to put it.
We all learn in different ways, truthfully. Some of us are visual learners, some of us are what's the other type of learner? I don't know.
Auditory?
Yeah, all of that. All of it. Yeah, there's many different
I have
types
no
of
idea. Is reading a different thing?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that what retains the most is emotion. I think that if you can make someone feel something about whatever you're talking about, they might not understand, like remember all of the nuts and bolts, but they'll remember the context of like, oh, that made me feel a certain way. So now I'm more curious to dive into it more. And I think the emotion that I love the most is, if it is an emotion, humor, laughter, joy. So that's the lens that I try to lean it all through.
I love that.
I love that. Yeah. And also we could all use more joy in our lives.
Truly.
For real.
Absolutely.
I love that so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like that's so true. It's like you never hear anyone quoting a history textbook they read one time. They quote TV shows, they quote movies, you know? The stuff that sticks with you is like the stuff that gives you a reaction. If you were quoting a history textbook, it would absolutely be because it said something weird or hilarious.
Right.
Damn, you just came for every history major ever.
Suck it, the past.
I mean, honestly, not to out myself as a total like loser, but my obsessions are because I saw some sort of movie or TV show about a figure or a moment in time that like really emotionally resonated with me, and then I became obsessed with learning everything about like that time in history or that historical figure or that like celebrity or whatever. I'm like, oh, like I'm not okay. Like the Frida movie, I'm not gonna lie. Like the Frida movie.
I was gonna be like, you mean like Frida Kahlo?
Yes.
Yeah, just come for me, like I'm a millennial girl. Like every Brooklynite. Yes, I saw Frida with Salma Hayek, and it like just really hit a bisexual chord. Okay, I just needed to then immerse myself in the world of Frida Kahlo. But that was before all of that merch came out. Okay, that was. I mean, so I guess that's why
once
everyone
again,
also watched
you're
it. You're
masterminding, you're galaxy braining, you're connecting with the universe.
We all watched it, and we all felt things for both Alfred Molina and Salma Hayek.
Yeah, and if you didn't, you need to go to the doctors because there's probably something wrong with you.
Yeah, there's something wrong with your feelings bits. So, speaking of all of this, actually
Subtle
kind of hard left
transition.
turn. Cole, Well, tell our listeners a little bit about you. If they haven't seen your
Yes.
stuff, who are you?
Yes.
Where did you come from?
Yes. So I came from a lovely, gorgeous, amazing place known as Newberry, Ohio. And if you
Ooh.
haven't heard of it, that's okay because you don't need to. I grew up. It's a really, really small town, really, really tiny town. And the context of my upbringing is really important for understanding why I got to an astrology. Because as a queer person, I felt very trapped in the environment that I grew up. There was very little support outside of my immediate family for expression, for
Mm.
creativity, for being different, being outside of the mold. Because I didn't want to play baseball. I didn't want to play football. The sports that I played were the gay sports, track and soccer. So people should have put two and two together before I gave them the tea. But growing up in a really religious and a really oppressive environment that all like pointed fingers and said, because you're queer, you're going to go to hell. You're a bad person. There's something wrong with
Mm.
you. I always felt, I was like, really? Like that's why I'm gonna go to hell? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go to hell because I keep stealing from Walmart because I'm broke, but I don't think it's the gay thing.
Right,
And
yeah.
when I
Tough
discovered
moment.
astrology, I didn't really take it super, super seriously. It was just more of like a hobby, something to like talk to my friends about, but I kept it pretty private for the most part. Like I had a horoscope app on my phone when I was like 16, and I had like two or three different books that I would read, but I didn't look at charts. I wasn't really like, asking people about their sign. I just kind of like would bring it up in conversation if it, happened. And then in college, I had an amazing like spiritual awakening, I guess, through a religious studies course, ironically
Oh,
enough.
wow.
And the first day of class, I think he was like a deacon or some sort of minister or something like that. He wasn't a priest because he was married and also a gay man. And the first thing he said is, "I am a gay man. I go to church every day, or not every day, excuse me, every week,
That'd
and
be
I'm going to
intense.
he's like, I'm Catholic. I do this." He's like, "I have been all my life," and I was like, "Oh my God, no, get me out of
Why
here.
did I
This is
take this
everything that I
class?
tried to get away from." And
Mm-hmm.
then he follows it with, "I am going to convince you by the end of this class that no religion is the right religion." And I was like, now hold
Word.
up.
I'm
Hold the
listening.
fucking phone. I am here. I'm clocked in. It was one of my favorite classes ever because he broke down spirituality through the lens of sociology. He broke down spirituality through the lens of like four main core pillars, which is like be a good person, give back to those who are less fortunate than you, don't kill others, and there's something after this life. I think those were like the four main ones. And
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
after I had that class, I was like, oh, I get to explore now. I don't, because I always knew I was very spiritual and very spiritually inclined, but I knew that the traditional outlet was not for me. Um, so I
Yeah.
started diving into astrology, fell in love with it. It let me connect to who I am and accept that, yeah, sometimes I'm a little bit kooky bananas, but that's what makes me beautiful. And then during the pandemic, I think it was around April of 2020 when I posted my first video, but it wasn't until like September or August, I think, when I posted my first astrology video.
Mm.
Because it was the first time that I had seen like hordes of people communicating about astrology. And I was like,
Yeah,
it's
Witch
not just
Talk
me.
really like took off in like 2019, 2020, right?
Blew the fuck
Yeah.
up. And
Yeah.
that was so great for me to finally start communicating about it and like connecting with more people about it. And then by the beginning of 2021, I had like 3 million followers on TikTok just
Whew.
because I was posting a lot and I was doing a lot and I just fell in love with it. And then I quit my corporate job in 2021. Cinco de Mayo of 2021 was my last day. Yes, I had tequila
Amazing.
afterwards to celebrate.
Legally, you have
Um,
to. If you quit your job on
and
Cinco de Mayo,
yeah,
you have to.
I had to. It was great. I was in the
Amazing.
Hamptons. It was fabulous. Um, and it, I just kind of just took a risk on myself. And I think it was because so much of my life was trying to fit into a mold and fit into a box. And then when I really said, none of this is making me happy, but I can make myself happy by just doing what I love and connecting in that way. And I haven't looked back. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. And a lot of my content is satirical and stupid and silly because the spiritual world can hyperbolize a lot and take itself far too seriously. It's like you and I both know and acknowledge that what happens beyond this is not the end. why are we so fixated on having it be a super specific way, right? My life
Mm-hmm.
motto is like, if I don't get it right this time, I'll get it right next time. That's okay.
Love that.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I like that a lot too. Yeah,
Oh, that's incredible.
it's like trying to
Yeah.
yell at each other about knowing the unknowable is crazy to me. I mean, I know that that's like all religion is in a lot of ways, but it's like you're choosing to try and know the one thing that you can't possibly know.
Right? I once, oh God, what was it? It was like a Playboy article by Azalea Banks.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we'll
That's a
also
wild
kind of,
sentence.
I
Yeah.
know, right? Gagged me. My friend Leah showed it to me. Shout out Leah. And she was
Hi,
like, "You're gonna
Leah.
gag at this because I love Azalea Banks, given the fact that she is very problematic. Yes, but she does have some iconic moments. She basically said, like, imagine yourself as like those basic ass calculators from the '80s, and God, whatever it is like the smartest supercomputer. You cannot comprehend the equations that God is trying to even give to
Mm.
you because we just aren't capable of doing that. And when I read that, I was like, damn it, that bitch is too fucking profound for her own good. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. Like
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
we can't comprehend what's going on up there, right? What's
Does
going
not
on in here?
compute. Yeah,
It boop
Yeah.
boop boop does not
absolutely.
compute exactly.
Don't even have the right buttons for it, you know?
Totally
Yeah.
believe that. And meanwhile, we're just like screaming and like freaking out and killing over shit we can't even understand. It's hard.
Everyone just needs to smoke a blunt, go on a little shroomy trip, and just like,
Exactly.
realize that at the end of the day, we're all just love. And if
Just
it's so
chill.
much easier to love than it is to hate. And I think
Mhm.
that's something that clicked for me this year, where I was like, oh, if I just let myself be happy, I'm going to be happy. That's crazy. Who would have thought? And if I just mind my business, then
Mm,
nothing bothers me.
yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. It's all just energy, you know. You can be
Mm-hmm.
worried about the world and also know that it's all just energy, but like,
Yeah.
Ugh,
yeah, it is, you know. Okay, so I feel like we answered
deep.
what was going to be question number 2 in a lot of ways, which is how did you first get involved with and learn about astrology? Um, but where do you get like inspiration for your videos now? I mean, you've been doing it for what, 3, almost 4 years. It's
Yeah,
how do you keep finding things?
I pull a lot of shit out of my ass, if I'm being completely honest.
Beautiful. That's all we're ever
If you,
doing.
yeah, right. I was, there's no, when what I love about social media and what I love about content is that it is so evolutionary every day, right? I mean,
Hmm.
sure, what you put on the internet will stay there forever, yes, but also, unless you did something really, really heinous, people aren't going to remember it, right? If I post a video talking about the zodiac signs as different pasta shapes and someone disagrees with the fact that maybe Taurus is just standard angel hair, that's not my problem. That's
Yeah.
not my problem because you're going to get over it in like what, 48 hours? Cool, great. Well, let's move on. I get a lot of my inspiration from everyday life and how I kind of just like experience the world. I'll be cooking pasta and I quite literally will be like, okay, zodiac sign says pasta, work. I was on the subway the other day. I didn't post this video. I didn't make this video, but maybe I will. And I saw a rat carrying one of those like little tiny like vodka bottles with
Oh my
it.
God,
And
stop.
I was like, what if I scoured the internet and found pictures of New York City rats carrying different things
Oh
and
yeah, there's got to
associated
be
to
at
the
least
zodiac sign?
12. Yeah.
You
Right,
have to make
exactly.
this video. You
I
have to.
Right, like brain rot. Like I am a child of the internet who watched Jenna Marbles growing up, who quite literally said, "I'm going to do whatever I want to in this moment because it's funny to me and it's going to make me enjoyable." And I'm like, that's how I make my content. That's how I feel inspired. And the days where I'm not like inspired are also the days where I'm kind of just like doing the same thing over and over again. So I really try to make sure that I'm pushing myself to actually live life in order to create good content.
Yeah. Oh, that makes so
That's
much
so
sense.
key.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit like pulling back behind the curtain, and I don't want to reveal too much of your process, but do you have like a list lined up of like a notes, of
Oh,
like, ideas for the future, like things that you queue up of like, how does the sauce get made?
yeah, so I try to at least plan out all of my content for the month ahead. So and some days I don't post videos because I'm like, like after I see the idea. But I have a content calendar where I pretty much just, so I quite literally did it yesterday. I just sat down and I wrote in my Notion app. Just like, it was like idea, 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 and then I just kind of drag and drop through my calendar. So it is maybe like a little bit of a boring look behind the curtain, because I really only plan out a month ahead. But I also like to give myself the opportunity to be in the spur of the moment, be, with the pop culture times, or like something referential if I can, at least. Like
Totally, yeah.
when the Barbie movie was coming out, I was like, oh, zodiac signs has different Barbies. Great, this is
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
perfect. Um, easy, kind of like low hanging fruit sometimes. But yeah, really, the behind the curtains is quite literally a notes app with just like a bunch of ideas. And if in the moment, because I like to film once a day, just I think it just keeps me up with the routine of it all, as opposed
Mm.
to batch filming, because when I batch film I tend to forget to post, truthfully.
Oh, totally, yeah.
uh I'm real bad about that. But if I do it right then and there and edit it, I'm like, okay, great, now I can post this. um so yeah, it kind of just looks like a Notion board with just a
That's
bunch of
great.
crazy ideas.
No, very cool.
Yeah,
I'm sure that some of our listeners are interested in making, witchy content or like of whatever their
Listen,
own passions are. So
Notion, it is a free app. There's a desktop version and an app version. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on iPad, you can use it on anything. When I tell you, it turns me out. It is the tea. It is so friggin' good because it has a bunch of pre-made templates. Not sponsored, but hey, if you're ever hearing, if anyone from Notion is hearing, sponsor this episode, please.
yeah, we've said it before. We'll say it again. We are 100% willing to sell out at any
yes.
time. If
Sponsor
anyone
us,
wants us
sponsor
to
Cole.
sell out, just...
Yeah, right. If I get a Notion
Sponsor all of
sponsorship
us.
after this, we're splitting it 3 ways.
Oh, you're sweet. We'll hold
Because
you to
Notion's
that.
fabulous. It is so great for, especially because I think us witchy esoteric type people can sometimes lean a little bit more, like left brain, quote unquote. We're a little bit more creative, maybe need that structure. This is
Totally.
it's a really good place that at least has helped me kind of gather myself and structure
I love
myself
that.
to stay on top of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely like a doom piles of paper person, so it's like I'm always looking for a better way.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My camera's hiding all of my doom piles right now. Absolutely. I think that's a big misconception that people, think that in quote unquote influencers, like it's such an easy job. It's such a slacker position. It's like so misleading because content creators, it's such an intense job, actually. It's so much work.
Hmm.
And you have to be constantly hustling, constantly planning, or constantly posting, creating, thinking forward, as well as like moderating and then replying to comments, etc. Like keeping on trend. So I think it's really important that people listening understand that you put in a lot of thought and work into your content. It's not all fun and games. And a lot of times I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of content creators don't take time off, or they can't because your followers expect you to post every single day.
Yeah, I found a really good rhythm for myself personally where I don't post on weekends. I don't use social media really on weekends either because
Mm.
there
That's
was a
great.
time where I was posting like 3 times a day, which
Ooh.
was it. This was also like peak like pandemic days where
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
nothing was
Had
going
the
on.
time.
But like I had gotten into such a rhythm of doing that where I like once the world started opening up again, I burnt myself the fuck out. Oh, am I
Yeah.
allowed to swear?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, of course.
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Great.
for sure.
Fuck. No, sorry.
Jesus, fuck
Um,
shit.
right.
Fucking
All of the
swears.
above.
Much
Which
you
one's can I
fucking
get
want.
in there? Um, but I really burnt myself out, and it's taken me about like I really burnt myself out towards the end of 2021, beginning of
Hmm.
2022, and I like really had to pull off the gas like during 2022 was I was still pretty consistent, but I didn't really like let myself sit with the burnout.
Mm.
Um, I post once a day if I feel like it at
Hmm.
this
Good.
point.
Good for
And I
you.
think I'm fortunate enough to have built the audience and the following that I do, which is a huge, huge blessing. But I know when I have to post my sellout content, which is like, okay, I need some views. I need to like, get back in the algorithm. What is something that I
Yeah,
can do that's going to
100%.
stir up the pot a little bit and get people talking? But then I immediately follow it with like, okay, this is my sellable content. This is what's going to convert people into booking a reading with me. This is what's going to do that.
Mm.
So I found a really good rhythm for myself where kind of like on Monday or Tuesday, I'll post something a little bit more satirical, memey. And then towards like the end of the weekend, when people are a little bit more loosey goosey, a little bit more open to, like purchase and things of that nature. At least I've noticed, I post, it's like, hey, this is like an important thing that's happening, right? Get a reading for it or whatever it might be.
Totally. And so on that note, you do, as well as your content, you do astrology readings, right? Or like birth chart readings.
I read birth charts, I write horoscopes, I do it all. I fucking love it so much. I'm a people person, I'm a Gemini, I like to communicate, I like to talk, I'm a Virgo rising, I'm very service oriented, I want to help and support. So the first time that someone asked me to read their birth chart, I was terrified. But after I did it, I was like, that was the most fun I think I've ever had. We literally just talked about astrology and how to be a bad bitch. I was like, work in a realistic way. Like
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna just like pump smoking roses up your ass. Is that the saying?
It
Sure.
is now, absolutely.
It is. Yeah, right. What is it? Like, pump smoke up your ass? I think that's what it is. Anyway, I had a reading with a client today where I was like, listen, like, here's the tea. Like, this year, not the most ideal for what you want. However, next year, much better. So let's think about how can we plan, plot, and strategize using this astrology to set you up for that opportunity. So astrology is very cyclical. Everything leads into the next thing. It's just a little disappointing, my people pleasing self, where I'm like, I'm so sorry. No, it's not happening this year. The astrology's not there.
Yeah, that is not going to be easy for you to do with the current situation.
Right. I was like, that is going to be an uphill battle that you should reconsider if you want to fight it.
Right. Yeah. Have you ever had burnout before? Are you looking for it now?
Exactly.
Wait, so speaking of people pleasing, I have a question because I am a recovering people pleaser myself, and one of the things that I'm trying to work on this year is to not look at the comments.
Oh my God!
As an influencer, content creator, how do you deal with that? Like you mentioned before that, like, obviously people are going to get mad. You literally create content ranking signs, and of course people are going to be like, a little maybe, oh, I can't believe you ranked me as angel hair, whatever. But how do you deal with like actual trolls or hateful comments, or like, have you gotten kind of the vitriol of the internet, and then how do you deal with that? How do you protect your mental health as someone who's online all the time?
This is really toxic of me, but I fight. Truly. Like, I dead ass, like, I got to this point, and my boyfriend, God love him, he is always like, you get so agitated by the comments. I was like, yeah, because this is my fucking business. I was like, this is me. Like, they're discrediting my knowledge, my experience. I was like, if you want to talk the talk, baby, you better walk the walk. So I get a lot of, so I practice tropical esoteric astrology, and tropical astrology is based on the fixed tropics. So Aries season will always start on the spring equinox. The summer solstice is always when Cancer season starts, and so on and so forth. Traditional astrology looks at things a certain way. Western astrology looks at things a different way. So there's a lot of different branches under astrology, and those people will like be up in my comments with like a gun to my head, being like, "You're wrong. That's not right. That's the incorrect astrology." And I'm like, okay, well, if you're an educated astrologer, you understand that one, there's a bunch of branches which all have their different purposes. You know that there's a bunch of house systems as well, which also interpret in a different way. You would also understand and know that spirituality and astrology specifically is an individual esoteric experience that's supposed to be working for the individual. There's no right way to practice it. So I pop off. I clap back. If you want to talk shit, get ready to get hit. Because
right. You're not just making memes. You've read it. You're well read. You're
you got your receipts.
I'm well educated. I've been working now with a mentor at least every month. We've upped it now to twice a month. Who's been in the astrology game for 30 plus years. We work. Like I have a meeting with her this week. We work all the time, and she pushes me and gives me really hard topics and like really in-depth shit. Where sure, a lot of my astrology that I present is a little bit more sun sign pop astrology, but
that doesn't mean you don't know your shit. Yeah,
exactly. I'll have people who be like, "This is bullshit. Pop astrology is so baseline and so basic," and I'm like, "Hey, Diva, this is a video about the zodiac signs as cheese. I think you're missing the point, right? Like for me, that's usually when I comment. When someone's like, yeah, 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 this is like basic. This is like so like one dimensional. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a like 60-second video where I'm associating the zodiac signs as cheese. Did you really want me to give you like a whole like MLA formatted like, you know, thesis statement on this? No, like it's for entertainment. It's I'm
Right.
not telling you how to live your life because maybe Leo is burrata cheese.
Right, you don't
But
have to eat exclusively burrata cheese. You just
exactly
are
right,
burrata
right.
cheese.
I'm not saying that.
Like, scroll on, bitch. This isn't for you then.
Exactly. Yeah, keep going. Because when I see videos and content that I don't agree with, that I don't like, I'm like, whatever. Not
Yeah, I watch
interested.
the first
Truly.
5 seconds and I go like this, which
Yeah,
is
just get over it.
quick
So
flick of the
Astrology
finger.
memes are like my favorite content on social. It's like the most fun. So
yeah,
those people are just sticks in the mud.
Yeah, and
No,
it's like I'm not taking like advice. Like maybe it might influence my next charcuterie board, but more just because it'll have me thinking about camembert or whatever. You know?
exactly. Yeah, and I really try to intentionally surround myself around other creators, other spiritual people who are like-minded, and who
Mhm.
do understand one the game of social media, but also two
Right.
that it's like it's our practice, it's our individual experience. My closest peers, like there will be certain instances where someone will come to me with an astrological question, and I'll be like, I'm not, comfortable actually answering or focusing on that topic because what I do is a little bit different because we all focus on different things. I
Mhm.
refer. I was like, however, this person amazing at medical astrology. This person amazing at horary astrology. This person, if you want to talk about like astrocartography, go to them. So I'm always pushing. There's like tarot readers, psychics. I'm pushing my peers, everyone, other places because I'm like, if I can't do the job, right? I'm not going to say that I'm an expert just so I can get a paycheck. I was like,
Mhm.
that's look bad on me. So I surround myself with really good people who
Love
are
it.
very like-minded, and we protect each other and we look out for each other, especially in the comments. If I see anyone come from one of my girls, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Amazing. I love that.
I have come around to like, okay, people are always like, oh, don't feed the trolls, and there are situations where that is true. But also, I followed that advice initially when Epicurious went like somewhat viral early, like
Mm-hmm.
right before the pandemic and early in the pandemic, and I gained a little weight during the pandemic, and like people kept being like, "Is Emily pregnant?" And I didn't say anything, and then I got congratulations for my pregnancy and baby for like a year. So sometimes you have to just fucking say something. Like it is way better to get
Yeah.
ahead of.
Are you
If people
kidding
are
me?
like, I know. It was so stupid.
I'm
I
gonna
watched the
fucking
video
murder
back
that.
like a year later and I was like, I don't even look fat. Like, fuck all of you. But like, it was just
No,
like
you
the
look
way the
beautiful in
apron was
everything.
tied. But like, but sometimes it's like you do have to like defend your reputation or
Yeah.
else you will be getting congratulations for a baby you never had for like
Stop.
Also,
from
Stop
strangers on the
being
internet.
rude. Internet people are the worst.
They really
well,
are.
and people are really bold behind a private account.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Yes.
behind an
exactly.
account that you can't reply to, and behind
Mm-hmm.
an account with like a fake profile. I After seeing Renee Rapp's press tour, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a bitch. I'm gonna
Yeah.
call it how I see
Yes.
it. I was
We
just like,
all
I
should
don't
be
care
more like
anymore.
Renee Rapp.
Honestly, and I think, fingers crossed, one day I would like to be as big as her. I can just go into interviews just with that mentality. If someone asks me a question that I don't like, I was like, you, that's really the question you're asking me right now. Do we have anything more interesting? Like, come on. Like, let's,
Yeah.
right? It's like, I want to be real. I don't know. I think
That is,
people,
yes.
because celebrity and influencer culture got really muddy for a second. And I think
Mm-hmm.
people were kind of holding themselves to the same standard that celebrities should be held to, which I think we all should be held to a standard, but I think it was an
Mm-hmm.
unrealistic sort of image of like, I have to be only the perfect version and expression of myself. No, you're human. If you disagree with someone and they offended you or they said something that you don't like, clock the bitch because you're going to do that in your everyday life. So why not do it on the internet too? We
Yeah,
live in the
exactly.
digital age now.
If it's your real personality and it's like I mean, that's the thing. It's like it's your real life. It's not, you're you on the internet, like with your
Yeah,
name and your face, and it's like,
yeah,
you
Yeah.
know,
You're
especially
just
if you're in
people
front of the
making
camera.
content. Yeah. I think people don't realize that like all influencers and content creators are not millionaires living in Beverly Hills. Like
Yeah,
they're
and if
just
someone's
people who
responded to
happen
the
to make
comments,
content.
it's probably them or like their brother or husband or sister or whatever. Like,
yeah,
it's like usually the people responding to you are not like the hired help. Like it's the
Yeah,
same
honestly,
person.
a lot of celebrities are actually the ones responding nowadays too. Look, it's hard out there for all of us right now. The
We're,
economy's rough, guys.
yeah. Yeah, we're all struggling, we're all hustling, so why not just do it as the most real version of ourselves? That's
Yeah.
my thoughts.
And maybe give everyone a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. A little bit more,
For
like you
sure.
said, smoke a J, be compassionate, mind your business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's my holy trinity.
I love it. I love it. So on that note, you were saying, I think you already kind of had some advice, but what advice do you have for our listeners who are interested in starting to make some witchy content and put themselves out there on social media?
Yeah. One, take yourself just seriously enough. Take the whole process just seriously enough. Like I said, social media, it is messy, it is chaotic. There's always something going on. But people are gonna forget unless you say something that is like evil and heinous and disgusting and all that bad shit. You're gonna be fine. If you make a video that flops, it's okay. I've made plenty of videos that flops. There have been videos where I have literally spent the entire day filming, editing, conceptualizing, and I post it baby piss numbers. And then there are videos where I'm quite literally just, I was like, this would be really stupid. And then I was like, no one's going to like this. This is just for me. And then it does better than I would have imagined. So really just enjoy the process and enjoy the creativity that comes with creating content and find your voice, right? Find what works for you. I realized really quickly that I'm not the kind of astrologer who is going to sit in front of the camera and be like, here is exactly like I do it on occasion when I think it calls it, but I was like, here's what this transit means, and here's who's going to be the most lucky, and all of these other things, right? As like I like to put on a character. I like to be a little dramatic. I like to let the theater kid in me shine and show. And that's
Yes.
what works for me. Like I still get clients, I still get bookings. I write horoscopes for a very reputable magazine every month. I'm got some really great things in the works behind the scenes. I'm like, you
Ooh.
don't have to put yourself in a certain mold because you think it's what's going to perform well. At this point in time, the way that I view social media and I view the internet and all form of content is that people just want to connect to another human, right? So find your story first and then let yourself, right, sort of, if you want to build it into a business, sell the product later, right? Or let it
Yeah.
become, a bit or something like that. But if you're starting off, just post a video talking about whatever you want to talk about, right? If you want to, because I don't care, I think if you want to do an astrology ranking video, right, something I do it, right? Who cares? Put your spin on it, put your perspective on it. Let yourself explore and try as much as you can in the early stages. And then once you find something that works, write it down, say like, okay, this format did really, really well, like 3 or 4 times. That's something that you can rely on to use in the future, right? Those are my sellout videos. The videos where I'm like, I need to be relevant again. I need to get my name in the algorithm. Those, you will find those, but it's not rarely. It's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes it does, but it does take a process and it does require you to kind of go to that space of like, I have to fail. I have to fall on my ass with this, or else it's not going to pan out at all.
Yeah. I think
That's
people
my
don't realize
perspective.
how long it takes. It takes a lot of consistency and dedication and tenacity to build a true following, to build the content up, to really try. Like, I think a lot of people expect to be viral overnight, and that's just not how it is,
Yeah, and I
unfortunately.
mean, it really took me, I would say, only up until like this past like 2, 3 months where I was really like, got it. I really now understand and I'm really, really comfortable with the JK It's Cole brand, right? I know how I want it to progress. I know where I can do my shticky stuff and it's still going to be relevant. And I know how I can still be very entertaining through my educational content. So that's 3 years of making content pretty much every day, sometimes multiple times a day, and until I really sort of sat and said, got it. Now I understand it. And now
Totally.
I'm about to jump onto a different platform that I've never done before. And I'm like, great, another 3 years of figuring out what's going to
Oh,
work for me.
what
YouTube, here we
platform?
come.
Oh,
Exciting.
hello.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, YouTube Shorts are very similar. You could probably you're gonna do
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about how you got involved or like interested in astrology and like the whole witchy world, but what does your practice look like today? I mean, you have a mentor. What do you ascribe to? What are you reading? What's your life like? Like,
Yeah. I my practice, I have a shit ton of books, but I hate to read. So I'm not reading anything, unfortunately. But I love the aesthetic of books. I
Mm,
should be better at reading, but my practice is very, very fluid. I think this is a byproduct of being raised in a very rigid sort of religious environment. Is that now I'm like, I just want to lean into my spirit when it makes sense, right? And when the
hmm
moment calls and when it feels natural. I would say the closest sort of association that I would akin my form of spirituality to, it's very ancestral, very much earth driven, very environmental. So my space is my sanctuary. When I talk to whoever it is, I usually talk to my grandma or my late ancestors, people who have passed beyond. But I do a lot of just sitting with myself. A lot of I don't call it meditation really. I look at it more as just like I actually just have a conversation in my mind, like back and forth. And I know that is meditation, yes. Um, but it's usually when I'm like sitting at my desk and I kind of zone out for 20 minutes, where I'm just kind of like thinking, processing. But then I catch myself. I'm like, okay, got it. Just use this as a time to just like check in with yourself. Where are you at? What do you need? What are you experiencing? I cleanse. I use a lot of incense just to kind of like let myself clear out the space. But a lot of my practice is really just focused on connecting to my ancestors, and connecting to that sort of emotional tie and emotional tether, and making sure that I have kind of like a sanctuary everywhere I go and having a safe spot everywhere I go. I'm a bad witch. I'm not someone who keeps up with every full moon and every new moon, even though I talk about it every time and I say manifest do your things, because I'm human and I live a chaotic life. And sometimes for me, the celebration of that moment or the spirituality of that moment doesn't make sense for me to do a traditional ritual. Sometimes it'll look like on a full moon, I love to go out and dance on a full moon. Like I'm like, let's go to the club. Let's go
hmm
shake our ass and just shake our worries away and just feel decompressed and just like let all of that tension out through doing that. So I look for my personality through my practice, right? My church, I always say my church is a drag show. When I am out there with
Love
my
it.
girls in the club, just in
Yes.
queer love and happiness, I'm like, that's where I feel the most spiritually connected. So I try to explore a ritual and a practice that sort of aligns with that.
Totally.
I
And I
love
think
that.
that's one of the things that's so beautiful about like the witchcraft world and especially like chaos magic and that kind of thing is that it's really about picking your own journey and what connects and works for
Mm.
you. And
Is
like,
that what it's called? Chaos magic?
yeah, chaos magic is basically like yeah, just like I mean, the formalized version is that you have to like write down what you find works for you, but like beyond that
Mm.
it's just that's the theory behind it is like you just try different things and find find your own personal like journey towards whatever your thing is, you know?
Right. Okay. Then I would say chaos magic. I like to say, I'm an Aries moon, so I do
Uh,
love a little
Oh, I
chaos.
love. Wow. I love it. Yeah, we're big proponents of that too. I also call it like esoteric or eclectic. Like we're very
Mm-hmm.
much Emily and I are totally the same way too. We don't follow every we have to remind each other when new moons and full moons even
oh
are,
yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah,
when the
yeah. I had them
solstice
all in my
solstices
calendar at
are.
one point, like in my iCal, and that was the closest I got, and it lasted like 6 months because I ran it. Or no, it probably was like a year because I got it all in at once, and then
Yeah.
it was
Mm-hmm.
like once that was done, I was like,
It's
gotta remember
I
to
have
do that.
apps on my phone, but it's hard. I mean, look, we're modern people. It's hard. Like life happens, but it's like
Yeah.
when do you find those moments that speak to you when they speak to you, and then how? And it's just about when it feels good, right? And like what feels good. And I think, like you said, we totally feel that same way. Like I think there are so many ways to feel and connect with your spirituality
Yep.
that do not require a whole like fucking ritual and casting of a circle. And like a
Yep.
lot of us broke away from very like, I mean, I'm also a former Catholic, like I think Emily you are too, like broke away from like very rigid, religious upbringing. So I think that's why a lot of our generation and younger generations are very interested in this like witchcraft world, because it is all about like
Yeah.
what works for you when it works for you.
Well, and
Yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
like what works for you when it works for you. I'm gonna be real. Any other witchy person who's listening to this, okay, you can come for me, flame me in my DMs. I don't care. I think it's okay to go into NPC mode every once in a while. Truly, like, because if we are always on and always conscious, this
It's
world's a little bit crazy.
exhausting.
It's exhausting, right? And if you are able to do that, fabulous, rock and roll, baby. There are some days where I quite truly want to shut my blinds, smoke a blunt, and just play video games all day. Do I know that that is contributing nothing to? And when I mean all day, I mean from the minute I wake up to the minute I'm going to bed. Does that contribute anything for my health or well-being? No, but sometimes I just need to sit there and just kind of play
But that is
Pokemon.
contributing to your well-being because sometimes you just
I don't
need to
know.
like reboot.
I don't know.
Recovery is
Recovery,
practice.
it's like
True.
recharging.
You're
In
right.
that moment, you are a new moon.
Right, yeah.
You're hidden, but you're still
it
there.
really is though just going through the motions. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
So,
going through the motions is so cathartic and so healthy because it's just like you get to forget that everything's happening. You get
well,
to forget that there's shit
I've
going
been
on.
talking about this
Yeah.
recently. I don't know who told me this. I can't remember because again, my brain's like always fried. But like our brains have not like again, we are simple calculators. Our brains have not evolved fast enough for the to catch up with our technology either. Like the amount of data that we ingest every single day is the is I forget what it is, but like we were not supposed to have this amount of information download
Oh no.
that we have for a 24-hour news cycle. Like
Yeah.
it's just too much. It's like I feel like an exposed nerve every single moment of my life, and it's just
Yeah.
That's a
so
good way to describe
raw
it.
and sensitive and just like painful. So sometimes you do just need to like, you know, put the hood back over the foreskin and just like chill the fuck out, you know?
The hood over the fourth period. Oh, bitch, iconic.
Like sometimes it's just
No,
too
really,
much.
I get it. No, I completely, and that's what I try to tell people as well. Like in my readings, especially when I see people with like really like workhorse type, like type of aspects or like transits or placements in their chart, where I'm like, hey, you know, it's okay to like stop and just like enjoy life just without doing anything, right? You know that. And they're like, yeah, I know I should, but you know, there's just so much to do. I was like, yeah, there's always so much to do. And if you try to do it all, maybe you're just going to crack. I see
Yeah.
you cracking. I just met you and I can tell that you are hanging on by a thread, sweetheart. Just relax. It doesn't matter, right? It's when I think about how not only small we are in terms of the scope of the universe, but also in terms of just the multiverse and how life is, and even just like on this planet. I was like, I am one of 8 billion. Not only am I the most important thing in the world because I'm the only one of me, I'm also the least important thing in the world, right? So if I choose not to engage with anyone or socialize with anyone for a day, for 24 hours, and just kind of unplug, whose life is that? The world keeps turning, essentially, right? So it is
Mhm.
okay to
Yeah.
go NPC mode. Do something
Yeah.
that might be a little bit indulgent and might not progress you, quote unquote, in the traditional scope further, but it is just a moment for you to unplug from the machine, so to say.
Yeah.
Pull the hood over
Let
the
the brain
foreskin.
be its soft self. Yeah, put the hood over the foreskin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Smooth brain, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You don't need to be main character every day. You can just chilly
Oh,
NPC
I
out.
love being a side character every once in a while. Oh my gosh. I'm going to my friend's drag show tonight. I am absolutely a side character this evening.
Oh, oh, that's so fun. Well, we had an idea for a fun little impromptu ranking for you
Ooh,
today.
okay.
So we were brainstorming, like, we love all of you have covered so many topics in your years of videos, but we've been doing our podcast now for 7 seasons since 2019, and we're thinking of kind of main topics that we've covered over these last 6 seasons, I guess, total. Um, and so we broke down these topics into 12 for each of the signs. And we were wondering if we could put you on the spot and have you categorize the signs into these topics of witchy topics that we've covered.
Yeah,
How do
like
you
what
I
feel?
love
kind
it.
of witch would each sign be,
Yeah,
basically?
exactly.
Or yeah,
Or like, yeah,
which sign is each topic of witchcraft? Either way.
Yeah. I love
yes.
it. Let's get into it. Do you want me to read them or do you want to read
Oh
them?
yeah, here. Well, we'll shout them out, and then you tell
Okay,
us,
got it.
and you tell us what you
Yeah.
think. All right. So one of our first ones we started with in the very beginning, and we've done it many times since, is tarot.
Hmm.
Who do you think is our tarot witch?
I I'm gonna say I think who could tarot be? Okay, so I'm gonna talk through this. I think
Yes.
tarot could
Yeah.
be a few. My first initial inclination is Gemini because Gemini is ruled by the hands, and you have to, a lot of the
Oh.
conduit to using tarot is, using your hands, pulling things. My mind also goes to Cancer because I think you need that sort of psychic capability to be that vessel, and Cancer has a lot of psychic capability. Um, but I think the one that I wanna lean towards as well is Virgo, possibly. Similar reason type of Gemini,
Oh.
but because tarot is kind of, even though tarot is interpreted and expressed many different ways, it is kind of like, okay, here's like a plug and play, so to say, right? Of what you are interpreting, right? The cards that you pull, there is a standard definition of what it is, but it's also a little bit random. So I guess in that sense, I'm going to say Gemini. I guess Gemini is, yeah, okay, fabulous. Talking through it. Tarot
Interesting.
is
Love
Gemini.
it.
That's
Love
what I'm
it.
going to go
Love
with.
it.
I could change my
Yeah.
mind in the future, but for now,
Yeah, we
Tarot is
could, because
Gemini.
as we go through, we might want to switch them around. But because tarot, I think was a tricky one for me, but that's interesting. I love that. Um, Astrology. So
Hmm.
this is your area of expertise. What do you
Yeah,
feel like is the astrology girly?
astrology is an easier one because it's more straightforward because there is a sign that rules over astrology, and that's
Oh.
Aquarius. So
Oh.
astrology would be Aquarius, 100%. We are in the age, depends on who you ask, age of Aquarius.
Yes.
Currently, Pluto's in
Right.
Aquarius. So yeah, we got a lot of
Yes.
astrology energy coming up.
That's what I put too. Oh, awesome.
Interesting.
Okay, cool.
Love.
Love
Okay. All
it.
right. How about numerology? We've talked about numerology a lot on our podcast. How do you feel about numerology?
So my understanding and knowledge of numerology, there is a lot of balance that is involved in
Mm.
numerology, trying to get things to be, because when I think of numerology, I also think of like sacred geometry. There's kind of a little bit of overlap there, right? Or am I just making that up?
I don't know. I think so. So our friend who comes on to do numerology, a lot of it is like math. It's like light math, but it's like adding down numbers into things. And then like each number has like a vibe, sort of like the way that like
Yeah.
each
Right, okay.
card or
Then in
sign
that
has
case,
like
we're going
a
to go with Virgo. Virgos love
Virgo.
math.
Okay.
And I was leaning towards Libra for a second. I was like, I think numerology like leans into sacred geometry, and Libra all about balance and like,
Mm.
equality and all that jazz. Um, okay, then we'll save Libra for a different one. Numerology
Okay.
is going to be Virgo. Very the calculators of the zodiac. Hmm.
I love it.
Love, love. Yeah,
How?
Emily and I are both not. We can't do numerology. We always bring in our expert friend Jasmine for that. Okay, so go ahead, Emily.
Oh, I was gonna say, how about crystals?
So crystals are a physical thing. They come from the earth. They're
Mm-hmm.
very hard. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm knocking on a crystal right now.
Cole just brought down
Um,
a huge pillar crystal. What
right. It's
crystal is that?
I think it's carnelian. I'm not sure,
She
but I have,
girthy.
yeah. I've listen. I like to keep a couple big crystals in my room in case anyone breaks in. I have a weapon on hand.
Mm.
Oh, let me show you my giant crystal.
See, that's perfect. It is
Yeah,
beautiful.
Dan's always like,
I
"Are you
think
gonna murder me with that someday?" I'm like, "No, I would never do that to the crystal."
never.
No,
I will leave it by
or
your
to Dan,
bedside though if you
obviously.
need certain energies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it can cure a
I
hangover, maybe.
Yes. I think that Virgo, or nope, sorry, crystals would be Taurus. Earth
Oh,
sign
love that.
energy, very stabilizing energy. My alternative option is Libra, possibly. I think as we go
Mm,
through, that one could switch a little bit. But I think just based on the notion of what crystal stems from, it's a very environmental, physical, you're supposed to keep it close to your body. And Taurus is the physicality of spirituality.
yeah,
So I would associate them with that.
and
Love
Tauruses
it.
do love a fine, fine goods.
They do. They do like nice things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, Psychic mediumship. We've had quite a few episodes about psychic mediumship.
This one could go many different ways, many different
Yeah,
avenues.
I had a hard
So
time with
the
this one.
the immediate options is the water signs, right? So
Hmm.
Cancer, Scorpio. Pisces. What is the most psychic of the signs? I think we would have to look at what rules over psychic capabilities and sort of like witchy and intuitive energy, which is Neptune. So I would say psychic mediumship is probably Pisces, just because of the rulership um, of Neptune to Pisces. So yeah, psychic mediumship is Pisces, but also a lot of
Nice.
witchcraft, a lot of spiritual practices are very Pisces coded. There are a lot of options that could be
Yeah,
Pisces.
Pisces could
Um,
really be any of them, or a lot of
right.
different things.
Scorpio could be a couple of them.
I feel
Cancer
like
could be a
Scorpio
couple of
too.
them.
Mm,
So, those three kind of like as an overarching could realistically be placed in most of these categories.
cool. And if you hear
Nice.
me typing, it's just because I'm writing down your answers so that we can come back to them later. I'm not like texting my friends.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I'm just having to keep track so we can like remember who's who. Okay, this one I put is really general. It's a huge one, but spell work, like just overall, like spell casting of spells.
Casting of spells. Um, I think spell work would be Leo, because I think
Leo.
the action of the drama associated with, right, casting a spell, it's kind of like a performance in a
Right.
sense. it,
I
it's kind of
actually
like
love
it's like
that.
I'm doing this thing, I'm setting the stage, your altar, whatever it might be, right? It's like I'm the center. So I think spell work would kind of be a Leo vibe in a very positive way, like
No,
Love
just
it.
kind of
I
the
fully
drama
get
of.
that. Yeah. It's the only one that really gives you the opportunity to wear a robe if you want to.
Amazing.
Okay, how about like herbalism and green witchcraft, like, kitchen witching and all that kind of thing?
Mm. So maybe I'm gonna rescind on Virgos being numerology.
Oh,
um, Herbalism. So herbalism very very much associated to wellness. A lot of health sort of related things, just because it is very fixated and focused on what you consume, right? What are you using? And Virgo is the zodiac sign that rules over health, rules over well-being, rules over all of those routines. A lot of medical type things um, are related to Virgo, and Virgo is also earthy, right? Herbs,
mm-hmm.
right? All that
Oh
jazz. So
yeah.
I'm gonna actually rescind on numerology being being Virgo, and I think
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm,
going
mm-hmm.
to I think I'm going to comfortably put Libra as numerology.
Oh,
Libra, listen, it is the cardinal air sign. There is intellect there. Libra is all about balance. Libra is also typically associated with like judges, right? And
mm-hmm,
judges have to
mm-hmm.
be
Mm.
smart. I'm assuming judges probably have to know math. Question mark,
Probably. Question
possibly.
mark?
Numerology could also, well, I don't know. Maybe numerology could also be Gemini. Now I'm all over the place looking
I
at
think
this.
one of the ones we had said for numerology was also Capricorn, because it's like a little like the
Oh,
organizational,
yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
100%.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Capricorn could definitely fall into that numerology space.
Yeah. I don't want to read the
Numerology, we
witness,
got we got
but
like a slight question mark, a lowercase question mark on numerology
all
right now. We'll see.
right.
We'll revisit her.
Okay. The next one we've got Reiki and energy work.
Ooh, okay. I think Reiki and energy work would. I think it would be Scorpio, and the reason I'm
Ooh.
going to say Scorpio is because I remember one of my very dear sweet friends gave me a Reiki reading, and I felt as though she was uncovering things that were just so at the depth of my core, and stuff that I just like couldn't always put to words while we were describing it. She said this thing. She was like, you're really bad at breathing. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like there was a moment like when I put like my hands like over your chest, um, and you stopped breathing.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was bonkers. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. And I was just like, oh, I guess that makes sense, because I've had like even now I was like, oh, I have a lot of breathing issues, and I had a psychic once tell me, she was like, yeah, it's because you have control issues. So I think Reiki energy work, being able to just be tapped into the core of that person, um,
Yeah.
would be Scorpio.
Totally
Cancer
see
could
that.
could fall here. Yeah, I think Reiki and energy work could be Scorpio, could be Pisces, could be Cancer, but I think because it really taps into something very deep within that
Hmm.
person, I definitely think it's Scorpio energy.
Right. I feel like really good Reiki is like having your soul seen by someone else and you're like, oh my God, what's happening? And then like a bad Reiki experience is just like someone's got their hands over your body. So when they're not connected, it's just like, you're like, all right, well, thanks.
Well, and I liked what you said about a good Reiki experience being like someone looking into your soul. It's because like if you've ever like made direct eye contact with a Scorpio for a little bit too long, you're like, oh my God. Like, I was like, you are calm down. It was like, stop looking there. We just met.
I think I should, in fairness, say that I am a Scorpio.
I love Scorpio.
Emily's a double Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpios both are very intimidating as well as enticing to me.
Yeah, but with a Leo moon, so I've also got BFA in theater.
Love.
Okay, so this next one is I like lumped a lot into here, but I was thinking we've covered a lot of world topics, but I was trying to think of at the core, they all kind of speak to folk magic, right? Like when we're talking about shamanism or Ifa or, you know, like voodoo or like, you know, there's like a lot of it comes to the, like at its core, if you were to lump all the world practices together, which I'm sorry to do this, very disrespectful, but I was like, what is it at its core? A lot of it, history ties into folk magic. So I guess if we were to look at folk magic as a practice.
Right. I feel like that also sort of covers like ancestor magic as sort of the, like the, ancestor work.
What would you, who's the folk magic, ancestor magic witch to you?
So when it was first described as like worldly things, my initial sort of reaction was like, oh, Sagittarius, of course. Sagittarius is so worldly. But then when we do kind of think about at its core folk magic, when we think about ancestral magic, when we think about, you know, shamanism, a lot of that kind of like stems toward like a core individual who's kind of like the hearth of the community, so to say. And who's the core of the family if not the mother? Who is the mother if not Cancer? So I think folk magic, that ancestral sort of tie, it is so Cancerian. Like Cancer is family, it is heritage, it is all of that. It is culture down. It is just what you carry with you from what you were raised with. So yeah, folk magic, shamanism, world magic, all of that jazz would be Cancers.
I love that.
Okay, so Kate, for the next one, you have like holidays, solstices, etc. Thank you so much for putting this list together. Would this be like moon and sun kind of magic? Would you say like solstices and like?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I basically again, these are like very broad topics, but I was basically like anything that relates to having to celebrate something by a certain date. Like it could be anything from, you know, like the winter solstice to Belchana to, you know, like Lunar New Year to, you know, like any kind of like holidays that have spiritual relevance. However that's interpreted. Because we cover a lot of that on the podcast.
I'm going to say Aries. I will say Aries inherently is not very spiritual. Not to say that Aries can't be spiritual or witchy. Aries is just a little bit more like, where's the party? Where are we throwing ass? Like, what is going down? But I think the concept of, right, a holiday is also typically associated with some sort of celebration, right? You know, the winter solstice, what Lunar New Year, anything like that. There is usually typically a celebration portion, right? The summer solstice, I don't like people are dancing around in Central Park all the time celebrating the summer solstice. And that's a very Aries thing to do, right? You know, to go out, do an activity, stay connected, be social, party with, right? You know, that sense of spirituality. So I think holidays, solstices, those sort of like, here's the day, right? And this is the day we're doing something is very Aries associated.
Love that.
That's perfect.
Yeah, very much something you could like go head first into, which I feel like is.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something
also, like these are the rules. This is what we're doing this day.
Yeah.
It feels Aries.
Well, and it's also very Aries in the sense of like it's Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, right? The not simple by any means. All Aries are complex, but like, you know, that simplest of like, you know, oh, the baby, right? You know, the youthful energy, right? Let's just jump into something without there being too much difficulty. Like you said, right? These are all events that are pretty big, pretty well celebrated that people have heard before, or at least familiar with. So it gives them a little bit more ease to take that leap and to take that jump.
Love that.
That's a great interpretation.
All right. How about like mythology and like, historical witchcraft, or like history
Yeah.
type stuff?
I'm gonna say Sagittarius for this because I think mythology is all about like the wisdom from experience, right? And the lessons that are told from through the myth. And we get told someone else's experience, like Icarus, for example, and why he flew too close to the sun, and what do we learn from that? And that's a very Sagittarius thing, right? Sagittarius is all about how can I go out into the world, how can I do shit, how can I experience things, and then how can I bring that back and learn a lesson from it. So I think mythology, history, and Sagittarius sits on the axis of knowledge and information too. So it's very Sagittarian.
Love that answer. Okay, the last one, 12th and final, is entrepreneurship and witchy capitalism.
Right. Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Period.
Explanation needed.
And that's on
It is
period.
Capricorn.
Okay, so that leaves you with... Oh, wait, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did you want to explain? You can explain.
Well, just for those
Yes.
who want the knowledge, you can skip forward 30 seconds if you don't want to. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet that is all about achievement, accomplishments, routines, things of that nature. So Capricorn and entrepreneurship in the very traditional sense are tied together.
Yeah, love it.
Love it. Perfect.
Okay, so final list. Let me know what you think. Tarot, Gemini. Astrology, Aquarius. Numerology, Libra, which would put crystals as Taurus. Psychic mediumship as Pisces. Spellwork, Leo. Herbalism and green witchcraft, Virgo. Reiki and energy work, Scorpio. Folk music, shamanism, like ancestor magic, as Cancer. Holidays, solstices, parties, Aries. Mythology and history, Sag. And entrepreneurship and witchy capitalism as Capricorn.
That sounds right to me. That sounds correct.
I love this list.
I'm happy with this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I when we started, I was going to be like, well, I felt like, to me, maybe Aries would be tarot because it's such a starting point for a lot of people and it's so like instructive. But hearing all of your explanations, I think you did it perfectly, and I have no notes.
Yeah, this actually all makes total sense to me too. Yeah, I'm so on board.
See, this is why moments when people on the internet are like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like, no, I do. I do know what I'm talking about. They might seem like random associations, but they are thought. This is like this. What we just did is quite literally a huge part of my creative process, where I will say, okay, well, what if Aries with this? I was like, oh, actually, no. As I'm describing it, Aries is more this. So this is quite literally my creative process. So I love this. This was so fun.
Yay! Thank you so much for doing that with us.
Thank you for playing with us.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love a game. I love a little game.
This is so fun.
While we're making you do things, would you like to pull a card for our listeners? Do you have a deck on hand?
I do have a deck on hand. How do you typically do this? Do I just shuffle until something falls out? Do you say stop, or
you can pick the card that speaks to you however you like to pick a card.
Yeah, however we have no formula. However you'd like to pull one.
Okay.
What deck is it? Do you know?
This one jumped. The Hermit! I love
Hermit!
this card.
Oh, so pretty, too.
It's beautiful deck.
Yeah, what a great deck.
I think this is the Ethereal Visions deck is what this is called. Gorgeous. It's got this gold, because this is just audio. It's got this gold like leaf kind of like accenting, so it has a holographicness to it. And the illustrations are just... They're very Art Nouveau-y.
Like that 20s poster style.
Yes, yeah. These very witchy, very, very witchy. Big fan of these.
I love it.
Will you take a picture of that, and we'll post it on our Instagram if you'll take a picture of the card and to show our listeners.
Yeah, and we can talk about what the Hermit is, what the Hermit means.
Yeah, please talk. Like, we'd love to hear what you think. I love the Hermit. Let's talk about the Hermit. What do you feel like the Hermit's telling you today?
So I think what the Hermit is telling me today is that right now the destination isn't quite clear, truthfully, right? I think there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of stress, both just from the world view, but then also from an astrological view. There's a lot of big changes that are on the horizon that have happened, that are going to happen here soon. Oh, sorry, my cat's trying to get out of my room.
Oh, please.
Go on, cat. There you go.
Leave you
Sorry about that.
alone like the hermit.
Exactly, leave me alone like the hermit. But I think what's important about the hermit and the astrology associated together is that we have to remember that even though, how do I say this in an articulate way that doesn't make me sound like an idiot? All of our journeys are individual journeys, but I don't think that necessarily means that we have to go it alone, right? And I think the hermit is an easy card, at least usually through my interpretation, to kind of look as, okay, this is this isolated solo person who's kind of navigating by themselves, and that's very much true. But I think that we can sometimes, and I do it a lot, right? When I go through stressful moments, I self isolate. That is my that's my response. But I think part of it is also saying is like we are confused, we all are anxious, but we all are, right? So
Yeah.
even though we might be on a specific path by ourselves, right, and it's our path to follow, that doesn't mean that we can't call up our girls and say like, I need a bitch, right? I need to vent, I need to relate, I need to connect. So I think it's giving me this like dual moment of like, yeah, what's on the horizon is probably a little bit confusing, a little bit scary, but the hermit is holding that lamp. You've got the light. You just have to keep going one step ahead of you, right? And keep going, and then you'll inevitably get out of the fog.
Right.
So that's what the hermit is saying to me today.
I
What is
love
it saying
that.
to you?
I feel like I have to say it also speaks directly to what you were saying earlier about like going at NPC mode for a day. I feel like that is
Yeah.
kind of the
Ooh,
hermit. It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
being inside, and it's like yes, you're it's like you're taking yourself out for a day, but you're like out of the world for a day, but you're also like reflecting and like soul searching, and it's like it's not just being alone, it's like recharging or like looking for like your inner voice to tell you what to do next, you know?
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. That's juicy.
And it's just
I
like you were
I
just saying that, and it's like obviously someone out there needs to hear this. Like...
absolutely. I literally just was reading this listicle on BuzzFeed, which I know who reads BuzzFeed anymore, but I like literally had to be and on PC mode. So BuzzFeed is like one of those things I go to when I just cannot with the rest of the internet. And
Yep.
Elmo posted on Twitter yesterday on Monday. We're recording this on January the 30th, so Monday, January 29th. Elmo posted on Twitter like, "How is everybody doing?" And everybody replied,
Bad.
"Not good, Elmo." Like everyone would reply to Elmo like as if he was their therapist and was like, I gotta be honest, I'm not doing okay. And it was just so funny and like
Yeah.
sad that like everyone is in that space that you just described, Cole, of like just we're all kind of in hermit mode right now, just like not okay. But I think that's something I have to remind myself is like you don't you can self isolate and that's okay, but also remember that there are other people out there for you. You have a support system, you have people who care about
Yep.
you, and like you can lean on each other, you can ask for help, you do not have to suffer alone. And maybe even if it is just tweeting at Elmo.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
We're in
like
this together.
staying home but like with your friends.
Yes. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
instead of going out to the club, it's like, hey, can we have like a movie night, but like don't invite anyone, just you come over. That sort of vibe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What misery loves company? Isn't that the isn't that the saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I
thank you
love
so
it.
much for that. Cole, how can people find you on the internet? And
Yes.
what are you doing
How can
these
people book
days?
you? How
Oh
can
my
people watch your
goodness.
videos?
You can find me on the internet, on Instagram, TikTok, coming soon to YouTube later in February. So I'm not sure when this will come out, but by the middle of February, I should have at least a new video out. At JK, it's Cole, JKITSCOLE. I will be ripping you to shreds with a smile on my face based on your zodiac sign. I will be associating
Yes.
you to different brands of hairspray because that's what I have on my desk right now. You can also,
I
if
love it.
you are a horoscope privy person, right, you like to read horoscopes, I write pretty consistently for W Magazine. You just have to go onto their website and their lifestyle tab, and you should find recent horoscopes by me. And I have some other exciting things in the works that I can't talk about yet, but just be on the lookout for big things from Cole Protz coming soon.
Exciting.
Amazing. And can people still book you for private readings? Are you accepting
Yes.
private readings right
Oh,
now? Or
always,
okay.
always. I'm very much a teacher person, how to fish type of astrologer. So I always have my books open, and I really like to educate through my astrology. All of my booking websites are just linked. It's just one. It's stan.store/JK. It's Cole. If you don't want to type that into your browser, you can just go to my Instagram, go to my TikTok, and it's the link in my bio. But yeah,
Nice.
I'm available to be
Amazing.
booked.
Awesome.
Hooray! And while you're out there on the internet, you can always check out Witchcast on Instagram at Witchcast Podcast. You can find us where all fine podcasts are listened to, in places like, but not limited to, Apple Music and Spotify. You can drop us a review while you're out there. Why not maybe give us a little 5 stars? That could be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might.
It helps other people
love
find
that.
us.
It's free.
Yeah,
It's free to give a 5-star
do.
review.
Just like this podcast
It's
is
totally
free.
free.
We're not making any money off this
It's
thing.
$3.99.
So, yeah. And you can always email us if you wanted to at witchcastpodcast@gmail.com and find all of our various resources on our website, which is witchcastpodcast.com. Thanks, as always, for listening. Cole, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. It was so fun.
It was
thank
so
you
much
for
You're welcome
fun.
back anytime.
I had a blast. If you
Yes.
ever need to talk about crazy astrology again, you know who to call.
Absolutely.
Anytime, all the time. And until next time.
Heck
yeah!
'Cause it's Witchcast.
Yes! I love that! Yay!
I'm gonna be using that in everyday life now. I'm gonna be